Hi, my name is Ann Saloy, and I'll be your host for this Healthy Living webinar featuring Toxic Hold'em. You probably heard about this webinar through a friend or a family member who valued this information so much that they wanted to share it with you. So what I hope happens here is that you'll learn something of value to you, that you will implement what you learned in your daily life, and that you will share this information with others. So if somebody's name pops into your head while you're listening and you think, oh, so-and-so would really value this information, be a friend and tell a friend and send them to this webinar. Okay, you ready? Let's begin. As consumers, we can only make purchasing decisions based on the information we have at any given moment. So nobody would knowingly bring toxins into your home. But that's exactly what we're doing when we purchase personal care products, common household cleaners, and most nutritional supplements. It's a buyer be aware market out there because nobody is regulating and making sure that these products are safe for your family. And the fact is that every single product we buy is going to have an impact on our health. Everything we eat, everything we drink, all the nutritional products we take, every cleaner or personal care product we use will either have a positive or a negative impact on our health. So let's talk about our health for a minute. In the last 50 years, our health has seriously declined. Everybody knows somebody who has cancer, allergies, asthma, an autoimmune disease, or neurological disorder, suffers from anxiety or depression or ADD or ADHD, or lives with a chronic health issue, has reproductive problems. I have the privilege of being a guest speaker for Earth Day for a local middle school, and I talked to an auditorium full of 7th graders. And one of the questions I asked them during my talk is if they or anyone in their family suffers from asthma or allergies. How many of those children do you think raised their hand when I asked them that question? Yep, nearly every single child raises their hand. And then I ask them if they know anyone that has cancer, and I get nearly the same response. Now, if I had asked that question when I was in middle school, I'm not sure even one person would have raised their hand. Now, let's take a quick look at some health statistics. Psychiatric disorders affect 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 5 children. 20 million people are diagnosed with depression, and twice that many are diagnosed with anxiety. 1 in 10 Americans take an antidepressant, and we know that might not always be the answer because if you listen to the pharmaceutical commercials, the antidepressants can actually cause tendencies to commit suicide. So how is that helpful? 1 in 8 million U.S. children take ADD medication. That's 1 in 10. And asthma affects 16 million adults and 7 million children. What is causing so many health issues in the last 30 to 50 years? The fact is that we live in a very toxic world. I read once where a person 100 years ago was exposed to as many toxins in their entire lifetime as we are when a bus passes by. Now that's stuff you can't control, your outside environment. I get that. But you can control what happens in your own home and with your own purchases. And health and disease both begin at the cellular level, as proven by Dr. Raymond Francis, who is the author of a book called Never Be Sick Again. In his research, he found that there's only one true disease, and that's when a cell malfunctions. And there are only 2 causes for a cell to malfunction or become damaged, and that is nutritional deficiencies, when the cell does not get enough nutrients from our diet in order to do its job effectively, and also environmental toxins, which creates typos in those cells, and when those cells reproduce, they're going to reproduce as damaged cells. And when those group of cells stick together, they're going to cause a symptom in a body system, and then it's going to receive a name. It's going to be called a disease or a syndrome. It doesn't matter what you call it. It all starts the same way with a malfunctioning or damaged cell. Now in this webinar, we're going to be talking about environmental toxins and the role that plays in health and disease in your body. I don't know if you're aware, but over 80,000 chemicals have been registered with the EPA in the last 30 years. 80,000 chemicals. And of those 80,000, fewer than 500 of them have ever been tested for human use. And none of them have been tested when combined with another chemical. Now think of all the products you have in your home, every personal care product, every cleaner, and know that those formulas have been made with more than one chemical, and we're being exposed to them on a daily basis. So what that means is that you and I and all of our families are participating in this giant chemistry experiment, and we are the guinea pigs. There have been many studies documenting what these toxins are actually doing to our health, and here are just a few. Depression rates are rising. Autoimmune diseases are rising. Everybody knows somebody with fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue. Infertility. People are having problems getting pregnant and staying pregnant. ADD, ADHD, asthma, precocious puberty. There was a study I just read that talked about children, girls at the age of 7, second grade, that are having to deal with puberty because of the effects that these toxins are having on their body. Obesity. Chemicals are playing a role in obesity because these are petrol-based, oil-based chemicals, and they are stored in your fat cells for a very long time. So many problems are being caused by these chemicals. The Cleveland Clinic has this to say about air fresheners, which are commonly used in homes and in cars, and so people are exposed to them 24/7. Air fresheners commonly contain formaldehyde, petroleum distillates, and fumes which are associated with brain damage. Formaldehyde is thought to cause cancer, and petroleum distillates irritate the respiratory tract, and what is that going to do to people that have asthma? I'd like to give you one example of how products are marketed, and I think this is just so ridiculous. I actually forced myself to buy a can of Oust. It killed me to do so, but I wanted to prove to the people I speak with that this is truly what it says on the label. And you can actually find this on the company's website, and it's a Johnson & Johnson product, the family company, that provides this product to people. So on the back, in very, very small font where nobody would ever take the time to read, it says, "Before spraying, remove birds." Okay, leave your children in the room, but remove birds. And what are birds traditionally used for humans? To indicate toxic air, right? So they want you to remove the birds because it's going to hurt or kill the birds. And I'm all for taking care of and protecting our pets, but don't we need to be as diligent for our children and our families as well? Then it goes on to say, before using product throughout your home, use in one room and wait 24 hours to ensure that no one has any physical reactions to the product. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is a perfect example of us being guinea pigs for these companies. So now I'd like to play a little game of Toxic Hold'em with you, so you never need to play a game of chance with your health. This is going to give you some examples of what products you might have in your home right now that you're going to want to get rid of as soon as possible. And I'm getting the resources for this information from multiple websites, and they're all government websites. It's the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA.gov, and then the National Institute of Health website, which is NIH.gov. And on that specific website is something called the Household Chemical Database that a consumer watchdog group demanded the government put online so consumers can go on there and find out what is actually in the products they have. Of course, out of the 80,000 chemicals that are on there, we're going to only have information about 500 of them because that's the only ones that have been tested. So we really have to be diligent and find out and make sure that wherever we're getting our products, that these companies are really caring about our health. So when you go on this website, it's going to look like this. It's going to give you a bunch of choices of what to look for if you're looking for personal care products or the products you use inside your home or pesticides in your lawn. So you have a wide variety of choices. So let's start with the first chemical, and I'm only going to talk about 5, not 500 or 80,000, just give you a little idea of what is in the products we have in our homes. The first one is called MEA, and this product, this chemical, can cause liver damage. It's linked to asthma. It's associated with central nervous system depression symptoms, which are fatigue, depression, memory loss, impaired thinking, inability to complete tasks. Does that sound like ADD to anybody? And I found this information just to give you a little screenshot of what you look for when you pull up a chemical. You go to the quick search there and either put the product's name in or the chemical's name in, and then it'll give you a long list of products that contain that chemical. Okay, so let's just take a look and see what products might be in our home that have MEA in the product. And here they are. It surprises me that Druft was one of them, but as we go on, you'll find that many, many baby products contain lots of chemicals that are harmful, but you assume that if they're marketed to children, to babies, that they would take greater care in making sure that the ingredients are safe. That's just not true. Almost every single laundry detergent has MEA in it as an ingredient. And what's happening? We're wearing it, we're sleeping on it, we're absorbing it through our skin because our skin's our largest organ. So anything that is in contact with our skin is going to be absorbed into our cells. It's also in a lot of spray bottles, so we're breathing that in every time we spray it. And I remember it affected asthmatics. So these are chemicals you're going to definitely want to get rid of. Our next two chemicals are commonly found together in products, and they are formaldehyde and 1,4-dioxane. We talked a little bit about formaldehyde already when we were talking about Cleveland Clinic's information on air fresheners, and 1,4-dioxane isn't an actual ingredient that companies would add to the product. It's a byproduct when two ingredients are combined, when two chemicals are combined. Formaldehyde is a preservative, and both of these products are known carcinogens. They're known to cause cancer, and they are both banned from being in certain products in other countries. What do these chemicals cause? Eye, nose, and throat irritation, wheezing and coughing, fatigue, skin rash, eczema, severe allergic reactions, and it also impairs immune function. And now, let's see what products contain this chemical. Again, look at all the baby products. It might surprise you and probably anger you to learn that a consumer group recently tested many baby products for these two chemicals and found that Johnson's Baby Shampoo and Baby Magic were among the most toxic. So again, just because it's marketed to babies doesn't mean it's any safer. And soft soap. I mean, you think it's going to be good because it's soft soap, it's shea butter, it sounds nice, but it contains formaldehyde and 1,4-dioxane, very, very harmful chemicals. Our next chemical is called Butyl Cellosolve, and it's a probable carcinogen. It's probably going to cause cancer. It's linked to reproductive harm. Remember those children that are having precocious puberty and those people that are having problems conceiving? It causes irritation to the respiratory system, again, asthma problems. It causes depression of the central nervous system, again. It has symptoms which includes headaches, drowsiness, weakness, and personality changes. And if you're using a product that contains this chemical to remove soap scum from your shower, doing so exposes you to 3 times the limit. And here's the cleaners that contain this chemical: 409, Windex, Easy Off, and here we go, the green cleaners. This is something called greenwashing, where companies are realizing that green is a great marketing ploy and people are looking for more non-toxic cleaners, so they'll stick green on the label hoping to have consumers buy these products. That does not mean that they're safe. It does not mean that they're truly green and that they're any better for us than anything else. So by now I guess you're getting the picture on how these chemicals are adversely affecting our health. And the last two chemicals I'm going to talk about very quickly. First one is lye. It can cause irritation of the respiratory tract, kidney and liver damage, chronic skin irritation like eczema. And here are some of the products that you might have in your home that contain lye. Again, Aveeno baby cream. Who would think that a baby product would contain a harmful chemical, but this one does. Pond's oil of Olay, Axe, some personal care products thrown in there, Pantene, and again, greenwashing going on with Nature Source and Greenworks. And then our last chemical we're going to talk about is chlorine, because I know there's a lot of bleachaholics out there who think that they need to bleach everything to get it germ-free. That is just not the case. You do not have to bleach things to get them germ-free, and chlorine is a very, very harmful chemical. It can cause severe skin and eye damage, as everybody knows. It's kind of common sense. It can also cause throat irritation, respiratory tract damage. It's linked to reactive airways dysfunction syndrome. And remember, if you're washing your clothes with it or your linens with this, you're then sleeping on it or you're wearing it all day long, and then it's getting absorbed into your skin, and this is going to be damaging to your cells inside and outside your body. And let's see what products we might have in your home that contain chlorine. Some of them are very obvious. All of the Clorox brand products will probably have chlorine in them. And then there's also another surprising source which people don't really think about, and that's your automatic dishwasher. Almost every detergent that is used in the automatic dishwasher that's marketed in stores contains chlorine. And so every time you're using your automatic dishwasher, you're emitting chlorine gas into your home. And if you have little ones crawling around, they're getting that chlorine gas into their little lungs, and little bodies cannot process or handle as many toxins as adults can. And then you also are being exposed to chlorine every time you eat off of a plate or drink out of a glass. So eliminating these from your home would be a very, very wise choice. And now we're at my favorite part of these webinars, when I get to offer you solutions to these problems and to introduce you to a company that for over 50 years has provided families and individuals with products that build health, that are designed to be healthy for you and the planet. And that company is Shaklee. I think it's important when you begin to research healthier products that you really come to understand the company that's behind these products. So here's a little bit about Shaklee. Since its very beginning, Shaklee's philosophy has been to be in harmony with nature and good health, and their products have always been on the cutting edge and way ahead of their time. It all started way back when Dr. Shaklee, who is the founder of the Shaklee Corporation, created one of the world's first multivitamins in 1915. Who was even thinking about supplementing back then? But since then, Shaklee has become the #1 natural nutrition company in the United States. And they got that way without ever advertising. Because their products work. People get results. They feel better when they take Shaklee Nutrition. In fact, respected institutions like NASA and U.S. Olympic teams come to Shaklee to have them provide nutrients for performance. So I'll be talking more about that, the role of nutrition to offset nutritional deficiencies, in an upcoming webinar, so look for that one soon. But today we're talking about eliminating toxins in your lives, and that's exactly where Shaklee excels as well. They created one of the world's first biodegradable and non-toxic cleaners back in 1960. Who was even thinking about biodegradable or non-toxic? In fact, biodegradable wasn't even in the dictionary yet when Shaklee created this product. This was one of the world's first Earth Day products because Earth Day didn't even start until 10 years later. Jacques Cousteau used Shaklee cleaners in his expeditions because he knew that they would not pollute the ocean, which was so dear to his heart. Many other institutions use Shaklee as well, and Shaklee's also partnered with the first Nobel Peace Prize winner for the environment, Dr. Wangari Maathai. So they really walk the walk when it comes to being stewards of the environment. In fact, they were the very first company in the entire world to become climate neutral certified, which means they have done positive things to fully offset all of the CO2 emissions that are created because they exist as a company, so they leave a zero footprint on the earth. So we can be proud as consumers that we're supporting a company that truly does care about the earth and your health and has led and been a steward of the environment for over 50 years, and they're not just jumping on the bandwagon because it's profitable to do so. And now I'd like you to think about all the cleaners you have in your home right now. All the things in your bathroom, everything in your kitchen, everything in your laundry room, in your garage, and consider making a switch to this. Get Clean. This is Shaklee's healthy alternative to the cleaners we were just learning about. Everything you need to clean your entire household is included in this line of cleaners. And you are going to love them because they're safe for your family. They don't contain any toxic chemicals. They never have. They're greener for your planet because they're concentrates. They're going to save so much packaging waste from being thrown away. And they're going to be as effective, if not more effective, than what you're currently using. And that's a big deal. You want your cleaner to be effective. You don't want to waste your money on something that is not going to work. These cleaners work. I have so many people tell me, oh, you know what, I tried green cleaners and they didn't work, so I had to go back to the other stuff. Well, if you want a healthy alternative to those cleaners we were just talking about, this is your answer. Get Clean is going to save you a ton of money as well. That's because these are all concentrates. Shaklee's not going to send you water. And that's what most of the ready-to-use cleaners are at the grocery stores. They're mostly water. What Shaklee does is they don't waste the packaging to send you water. They just send you the concentrates. So let me show you how that's going to save your family money. When you buy this entire Get Clean kit, it is going to save your family over $3,000. That's the equivalent cleaning power that's in this Get Clean kit. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. These cleaners are so powerful and so effective while still remaining green and safe for your family. Let me show you just one example. This cleaner is called Basic H, which, if you remember, was the very first biodegradable and non-toxic cleaner that was ever introduced. And Basic H is a general purpose household cleaner, so you could use it for so many uses in your home. Anything that's safe with water is safe with Basic H. Your floors, your countertops, your walls, windows, mirrors, everything. You can wash your dog with it, you can wash your car with it, I could go on and on. But let's just assume that you were making window cleaner out of this pint of Basic H. How many 16-ounce spray bottles of window cleaner do you think this one pint of Basic H would make? And just take a wild guess. Remember, it's very concentrated. Okay, and I bet you're not even close. Over 5,800 bottles of window cleaner can be made with this one pint of Basic H. That's because you only use 1 to 2 drops in a 16-ounce bottle of water. That's how powerful this stuff is. That window cleaner is going to cost you less than a penny. So even if Windex is on sale and you have a coupon and you think you're getting a great deal, it's not going to compare to the cost value of Basic H. You add a little bit more and you're going to make an all-purpose cleaner. You add 1/4 teaspoon for the all-purpose cleaner. That's only going to cost you 3 cents. Then just add a little bit more to make an effective degreaser, which is only going to cost you 17 cents because the more you use, the more powerful the formula is going to be. And if you're like me, you're also going to think about the environmental impact this is going to have. Imagine if every family switched to Get Clean. In fact, the families that switched to Get Clean and Basic H last year saved enough packaging waste that could be wrapped around the earth 18 times. That's a significant difference on the planet. And you can really feel good about what you're doing. You're using something that works, that's better for your family. You're not throwing a bunch of toxins down the drain, and you're saving all kinds of packaging waste by being thrown into the landfills. You are going to be so happy with how these cleaners work as well, because Shaklee did a lot of testing to make sure that you weren't wasting your money on something that didn't work. They tested their products against traditional cleaners that you might already be using, as well as green cleaners that are on the market. And Get Clean either outperformed or performed as well as all of the cleaners that were tested. And they were especially effective, more effective, against the green cleaners. They completely outperformed them. So what I suggest is that you start with this entire Get Clean kit and get rid of all the chemicals that might be causing your family harm right now. And this entire kit has everything you need for your kitchen, for your bathroom, for your laundry room. It also comes with this wonderful caddy with the spray bottles, microfiber sponge, and microfiber cloths, some dropper bottles, so everything you would need as accessories. And this entire kit, including the caddy, only costs you $99 when you're a member. Remember, that's over $3,000 worth of cleaners for less than $100. And also, you have to remember too that Shaklee's products, every single one of Shaklee's products is backed by a money-back guarantee, including these cleaners. So if you don't like something, you'll get your money back. But nobody asks for their money back for these cleaners because they work so well. The only thing you might have to get used to is that these products don't have a smell. And remember we were talking about those chemicals? Well, fragrance is one of the most toxic things you can have in a product. So the more smelly a product is, the more toxic it probably is for your family. And we're kind of brainwashed that things have to smell clean to be clean. You know, April Fresh, Pine Sol Fresh, whatever. That's not true. Clean doesn't have a smell. It's just clean. So now I'd like to take a minute and talk about Shaklee membership options with you. And Shaklee works like a buyer's club, and there's never any obligations to purchase. You only get benefits when you become a member. Sure, you can buy Shaklee products at a retail price, but it really makes more sense to join as a member and buy products as a discount. And the first level of membership is the $19.95 option, and it's the member option. And with this, you're going to get 15% discount on all Shaklee products. It'll be automatically renewed at no cost to you, and you can enjoy member-only specials that Shaklee offers that are exclusively available just to Shaklee members. The next level of membership is called the bonus or distributor membership, and that's $39.95. It gives you the exact same benefits as the member option. You get the discount, you get the member-only specials, it's renewed for you automatically, plus you also get to enjoy cash referral bonuses. Because a lot of people love these products so much, they just tell their friends and family about them, and then when they try Shaklee products, you can actually get paid for those referrals. You'll also receive an e-coupon for a free product that can be valued up to $100, which is already going to pay for the $39.95. Plus then when you earn those cash referral bonuses, you can actually pay for the products you use every month. So now you're turning an expense into an income, which is kind of a nice option that Shaklee offers. The third level is called the Gold Ambassador level, and within that option are actually 3 different levels, and you get to enjoy the same benefits as a bonus option. So you have the discount on the products, you enjoy member-only specials, you get cash referral bonuses, and that free e-coupon, but you also get included in this option is a variety of products. You can try them right away. And the higher the value of the kits, the higher the value of the products. In addition to that, Shaklee is going to give you a free personal website. So you can start sharing these products with friends and family and your contacts right away so they can start enjoying and experiencing the Shaklee difference as well. You'll also be able to run a global-based business right from your home, and this option also gives you a chance to earn a bonus car free of charge and also paid exotic vacations. So you're actually going to get a true paid vacation, all expenses paid. This Business Gold Ambassador option is a great plan B for people. And truthfully, nowadays, everybody can use another source of income. So I always ask, if you continue to do what you're doing right now, are you going to be any better off financially in 3 to 5 years? And most people say, well, no, there's no reason for them to believe that they would ever be better off. In fact, they're a little scared about what the future holds for them. Some of them aren't secure in their jobs, or they don't like their job and they'd like to have another way to make an income. Maybe some people just need extra money to make a car payment or a house payment or pay for tuition, or they would like another resource for income for their retirement. People have a lot of different reasons to choose this option, so you just will want to analyze your own situation and then choose the membership that's right for you. There's one more membership that Shaklee offers, and that's for nonprofit